Hello, everybody, and welcome to the power of His love. I am excited today because God's love is more powerful than anything you've ever experienced in your life. I just thank God today for this couple that we have today. What a wonderful testimony they have of God's power, of His love, how His love can restore you, how His love can bring things back together again. So welcome, Marcus and Commissioner Robinson. I'm so glad y'all are with us today. And I'm just going to I want to know a little bit about y'all. Like, I want to know, how old are you guys?
Well, I'm 29.
Wow, you young man.
And I'm 26.
Go girl. I just want to know exactly, how did you guys meet?
Well, my mother was doing Bible study at my aunt's house, and she was over with my little cousin. And I just came over, and I kind of glanced at her, saw her somewhere before, and I knew she was going to be over there, but when she got there, she just, I don't know, she just kind of just...
Gotcha.
Yeah, just grabbed me.
And Major, what did you think of that when you saw that handsome rascal?
Well, I saw him before. Like he said, his cousin and I were best friends. And so her and I went to the movies together, so I already knew he liked me, but I was kind of playing hard to get when I saw him. So.
You good girl, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, girl. Don't be so thirsty, right? But I just want to know, okay, when you met her, did you know she was the one?
No, I didn't know she was the one.
Okay.
When she was somebody I definitely wanted to get to know better.
Yeah, wow. Aisha, what did you think of him? Did you think he was the one?
No, not at that time. I mean, he was just like a little fling that we just kind of had it for us. I mean, it wasn't nothing serious at first.
Yes, man, girl, I love you already. Marcus, that's a catch. She was making you run. And so I mean, I know y'all are young and everything, and then the other thing is that you guys really are born again. And that's something to be truly saved in a world like this, you know, like y'all's ages. So when did y'all give y'all life to Jesus?
About maybe 5-6 years ago.
Okay, so you had five is grace. You have the God's grace, Lord. What did you say, Mason?
When I first gave my life to Christ, I think I was like 12 years old. I rededicated my life 5 years ago as well.
So when y'all got married, who did you ask? Because you know women ask men to marry. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't like that. Women asking men to marry. I'm like, well, God asked marry me. So Marcus, did you propose to Connection?
No, we kind of just came with an executive decision, you know, just...
Tell me about this executive decision.
Well, what happened was, we started going to church, and we was under this pastor, and she was getting ready to have our second child. And one day he pulled us in the office and just started speaking to us, and he asked me, he was like, you know, do you love her? And I said, yes, sir. And he asked me what was my plans, and I said, well, you know, I'm going to take care of him and provide and things like that. And he said, well, that's all good, but a real man will marry him if he loves him.
Check.
So he almost pretty much gave me an ultimatum, like, you know, if you're not going to marry her, then you need to leave her alone because she needs to be somebody's wife.
That's right.
So I sat down and I really thought about it, and I said, I'm not going nowhere. So we sat down and we talked about it, we got it planned out, and we went from there.
Wow. Y'all are you ready?
No, at the time I wasn't ready. Like you said, we was on our second child. I was only 18 years old at that time. But I knew that it was a sense of security for me. I wasn't just going to be a single mama. And he was a great provider, so I was like, I mean, why not?
Oh, that is so sweet. I'm going to tell you something. You had your first child at what age?
At 16.
Wow, 16. You had to grow up very quick. How was that?
It was kind of hard. Like I said, I had Jalen at 16. That's our first son. And I had to drop out of school. And I worked at a plant at that time at only 16 years old. I was at a plant. I worked all day. And then I went back to school at night for my GED. So it was very difficult, very difficult.
So, I mean, you didn't get to experience the prom and all that stuff like, you know, 16-year-olds. You're contemplating college and all that good stuff.
No, I didn't get to experience any of that. I wanted to go to college, but at that time I had to pay for Jalen's daycare, had to pay for a car, so I didn't have a chance to do any of that.
So let's kind of just dig a little deeper here. Apparently, in order for God to restore something, something had to be broken. So what happened in y'all's marriage? And you know what? I know that I'm really wanting to see. I don't want us to get started too quick on that before we have to take a break, y'all. So the thing about it is that we want to talk in this next segment about what happened to this beautiful beginning. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in a minute. We have to deal with some things. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We are back. Now, I tell y'all right now, I'm having a ball in this place. I love the fact that this couple, they're so young, 26, 29, had a baby at 16, and now just saved people in the Lord. And I just want to know all that good stuff that happened, meeting that Bible study, Marcus makes you playing hard to get, and all that stuff. What went wrong? Who gonna tell me what went wrong?
Well, even before we got married, I had little issues staying faithful.
Why, Marcus? Be like that mama. Why you had a hard time? I'm just laughing. But really, why though? What did it do? Was it something that she did? Was it something that she was lacking? What was it?
And in the marriage, we just had moved to Charleston. We just relocated. We was in a new city, and we just went through a little struggle, and it just seemed like we were starting to get on our feet, and things were starting to look better. Mm-hmm. And she just had got a job, and we just went and bought a car, and it just seemed like everything was coming up. And at that point in time, I was actually doing good. I wasn't dealing with anybody, anything like that. And one day I went into work, and they laid us off.
Wow.
And when they laid us off, I came home, and of course I told her, and looking back on it now, I just believe fear kicked in, and we got into this big argument. And throughout the argument, things were said that just really made me feel like I was unappreciated, like I wasn't putting my best foot forward, and it really, really broke my spirit. And
do you remember what made you feel unappreciated?
Just the words that were said.
You don't remember exactly what was said?
I really don't remember the exact words.
Okay.
But they were really like Lord. Like, I didn't get fired. Mm-hmm. And it kind of came off like that. I got laid off. It wasn't just me, it was like a group of people that got laid off. Okay. And like I said, fear kicks in, doing things like that, and I didn't really know how to take it. I didn't have anybody in my life, like a male figure that could help me through that situation, so I reverted back to what made me feel good. Mm-hmm. And she kind of moved on. So
Maisha, did you know at the time? So did you know at the time that he felt unappreciated?
No, at that time I didn't know that he felt unappreciated. Not at that time. I mean, to be honest, when he got laid off, because I always looked at it as a man to supply all my needs. Because raising up with my grandfather and my grandfather supplied all the needs. So I associated a man with, being able to make me feel secure. Mm-hmm. So when he didn't make me feel secure anymore, I just kind of shut down. I was like, you're not a man now.
So to you, what defines a man is security
at that time.
Mm-hmm. So now you don't mind that now?
No, not now.
Not now.
I want him to supply.
That's right. A man is supposed to do that. Y'all know that.
But that's just not everything. Mm-hmm. That's not everything.
Okay, that's right. So at the time, you just felt like you were just not secure and safe as far as financially being a man covering you. You looked at that as a covering.
Yes.
So you felt uncovered.
Yes.
And so therefore Marcus also felt uncovered. And that's what happens, is that the enemy gets in, and there has to be a crack somewhere in that love walk where I feel unappreciated. So now this is what I'm going to do to feel appreciated. And it's just like any Delilah there is as that. She's going to look and say that here goes a man. It's like they can just scope it out up like a big old sign. He feels unappreciated. He feels unappreciated. And it's like they want to go and target that man that feels unappreciated. So Marcus, this woman, did she do things better? Did you see that she was better than Maisha? What did I see Maisha looking to? I want to know. So what exactly was it?
Just at the time, a man has to feel like a man. And if he doesn't feel like he's a man in his house or in a relationship, he's gonna go where he feels like he's a man. So it just, with the other lady, I had more control. Seemed like I had more say so at the time. She didn't have so much of that independent mindset that Maisha had at the time. And with Maisha having that independent mindset, it didn't really have a lot of room for me to, feel like a man, It seemed like she was doing so much on her own and just taking care of so much on her own that I almost felt like I wasn't needed there. So I went where I felt, the other lady made me feel like I was needed at the time.
Okay, it makes it how look at Maisha don't know. But I mean, at the time, were you feeling unappreciated too? Were you, because of the security issue, was it that you also was feeling like, man, I feel a little unappreciated too? But how were you really feeling? Did you have an inkling? Because women sometimes have a little inkling there's something going on.
Yeah, I knew. He started acting differently. Just really wasn't coming home like that. So
My issue wasn't coming. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maisha.
So I kind of knew, but I was the type of woman where I wasn't just going to come to him with something I thought he was doing. So I did my research.
So you was a PI.
Yeah.
Huh?
FBI.
FBI. Maisha, what did you do? Inquiring minds right now.
But what I did first was I checked phone records. And then once I checked phone records, I found out, like, okay, I want to see if he's on the phone longer than 5 or 10 minutes, then something was wrong with that.
Wow.
So I found it out when he was on the phone for, I think, like 52 minutes. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Now I can see some women right now that's check that phone. I can see that happening right now.
And so then what I did also at that time was reverse phone lookup.
Reverse phone lookup, help us, ask the
So when I did reverse phone lookup, that's when I got the name. And then I started dropping the name here and there, doing different things. And he tried not to react to the name, but when I dropped the name, I already knew.
Marcus, So Marcus, did you do what most men do when they get caught? They lie. I'm being honest. When they get caught, they be like, I ain't me. I ain't do that person. Did you do that?
Of course. Honestly, that's one of those things that, we wind up picking up from somebody at some point in time in our life. You doing your thing, if she don't put her hands on you, you're not caught. So I heard the name.
Wait a minute, when you said put your hands on, you need physically put your hands on?
No, as in like, if she's the other woman, and you're my woman, if you didn't catch me like this, then I'm not caught. I don't care what you tell me.
You little rascal.
So that was the mindset that I had. I heard her drop the names, and I had 2 phones, but I just kind of got to a point where I got a little reckless and stopped caring. So.
Were you being convicted any time during this time? Were you feeling some sort of way like, I better stop, this isn't right? Was it any time?
Actually, most of the time I just felt like I needed to stop. But we were kind of in this place where we both had done dropped like little information, like we both was kind of doing something. And honestly,
hold up. Stop the progress.
Yeah, get the other side of the story.
Get the other side of the story. Making looking all innocent over being a private eye and stuff. You cheated.
Yes, but it was after he cheated.
Hold on. Maisha, you did revenge.
Yes, I did.
That's what a lot of women do. They do that get back. You cheat on me, now I'm gonna cheat on you, and I'm gonna get me. I'm gonna show you how it feels.
Yes.
Maisha, did you say that? I'm showing how it feels.
Yeah, I actually did say that because we came from Orangeburg, so I came to Charleston. I had a better job, I had a car, I had money, I had my own apartment. So I was like, I'm getting ready to show him how it's really done.
So that you wasn't feeling no regret or nothing then. You
was
feeling pumped up for the revenge.
I was really having fun. I was like, I'm dating now, I'm single, ready to mingle.
But I was married. Single, ready to mingle, and married. See, that's how the enemy does it, doesn't it? He wants to give us a reason to do things. And you know what? I want to know at this time, where were y'all with God? Apparently nowhere, but.
Well, I knew him, but I just didn't really acknowledge him. You know, even when I was cheating, I was like, this is not right. It's really not right. But I felt so good doing it because he had hurt me, and I was like, so I'm going to hurt him. So it's almost like a get back.
Yeah, that's what you call revenge. And when the Lord says vengeance is mine, I know it's hard during a time like that when you're feeling so neglected, so hurt, so beat down with the pain of the betrayal. And oh, that's another one, betrayal. You felt, I guarantee you felt betrayed.
Yeah, I really did feel betrayed because he knew about what happened to me when I was younger.
Wow.
I got molested when I was younger, and I told him everything about it. I told him that my father wasn't there. And so when we first got married, I was doing everything that a woman was supposed to do. Even though no one taught me, I still was doing everything for him. So like when he cheated, I was like, wow, you knew everything I went through, and you still decided to cheat. So it's like, you really didn't care about me. So I felt, betrayed past. I can't even, it wasn't, I think it was deeper than betrayal.
Jesus, I don't think anybody can really know that pain of that thing. Marcus, were you feeling any kind of remorse and no, just
Here and there.
yeah.
Honestly. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't.
Did she ask you for, because you look like one of them men, somebody asked you something, you would have a way to weasel out of it. When she was trying to get answers, I was it to get your mom, yes, you such a rascal. The thing about it is, did you give her answers?
No.
Okay.
I would never give her straight answers. I would have my times where she would pound me so much, and I was like, yeah, I did do it. But just sitting down and just honestly opening up and giving her what she was looking for at the time, I wasn't doing that.
So now I want to know, how many times did you cheat?
More than I can remember.
More than you can remember.
Yes.
Now, what was your mama now? You know what, Misha? How many times did you cheat?
It was 4 times.
Lord have mercy. So the thing about it is, y'all were both just kind of getting back at each other over and over instead of really settling down. And this is where a lot of people miss it. Find out, where did it all break down? Find out, where did it all go bad? Where did we miss it? And so, that's the main thing about it, that God wants us to really find out. In our next segment, we have to take a break, but I'm excited about what happened with this couple. All right. See you in a minute. We are back, and we have our couple here today, Marcus and Kamisha Robinson, with us today. Let us just thank God for them being with us. But I gotta ask Kamisha some serious things right now, y'all. I want to know what exactly, we were talking about the restoration of marriage and the fact that you guys really got married very young, and now here you see that things are they're falling apart because of infidelity between the both of you. So I want to find out, Misha, how were you able to love Marcus again?
What happened was I was pregnant with my 3rd son, which is Jordan at that time. And I kind of just was like tired of it, tired of playing the games, because he was cheating, I was cheating. But then I was like, okay, this is our 3rd child. It's time for us to settle down now. So what I started doing was I started really taking my relationship with Christ serious again. I didn't go to him, leave and stuff like that. I just kind of was like, God, I'm just tired. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of hurting him. Just help me. And that's really all I did. And then I just really started falling in love with Christ all over again, because I once knew him. So I just started taking him a lot more serious.
Wow. So Marcus, during that time, what was going on with you? You guys are now in a ministry that you're experiencing God's love. Make sure you're really gaining a relationship. Because a lot of people go to church, but they really don't have a relationship. So what you were doing was that you were really experiencing a relationship with Jesus. Wow. And that's what it's all about, because he's love. You can't even pass that when it comes to him. So Marcus, what was going on with you at the time?
Before we even got to the ministry that we were going to, I just remember one night just sitting down, and I was so tired of it. And I actually, that's one of the first times I can say that I actually felt like remorse. Just really feeling bad about it. And I sat down and I acknowledged the fact that I had a problem. And I sat there and I just sat on the edge of the bed, and I really didn't know how to pray. My mother was a praying woman, and that was the only thing I could think of. I knew if my mother was here, she would tell me to pray. So I just sat there and I just was kind of talking to God, just saying, God, I have a problem. I don't want to be like this anymore. I'm tired of, doing her like this and things like that. And I remember I got in the shower and he gave me Psalms 51. And that was the first time I ever heard God's voice. Because I couldn't tell you the last time I picked up a Bible. I never knew what Psalms 51 said or anything like that. So that was all God for me to go to that. And when I got out the shower and reading the caption of it, it was the prayer that was done after David had been with Bathsheba. And then what I did from there was just went into it, and then it was talking about being cleansed of all your sins and being purged and cleansed with hyssop and things like that. And that was exactly what I needed to hear at that time. And then a few months later, I actually ran into a guy on my job who introduced me to a ministry, Rivers of Love. And when I got there, it gave me so much love, and that was something that I really needed at that point in time in my life. And I had this wall up about love because I lost my mother at a very early age, and I just was scared to love, and I was almost kind of scared to receive love, and I know that played a factor in my marriage also. So when I got there, the pastor, she just gave me so much love. And it just started showing me how to gain a relationship with Christ. And things slowly but surely started changing. God just came in and just started softening my heart and allowing me to receive and give off love. And it was such a great feeling because it was something that I had
You know what, Deacon Marcus, well, we call him Deke, everybody. But the thing about it is that just wants to bring tears to my eyes, because for a man to say that God's love did that to them, there is so much power in love. That's why I believe that that's what the world needs now. We need more love. We need true, real love. And there are so many people that feel like I can't be loved because I'm in homosexuality or I'm in this type of a sin. But I want everybody out there to know this is what love does. Love looks past all that stuff and says, I see a man who deserves God's kind of love. And so I remember when I saw y'all. Glory to God. I remember when I saw y'all, I was like, there's such a loving couple. I saw love on y'all. Didn't even know everything that was going on, but I knew that there was gold in there. What you want to know? Where did gigs go from? In the weather? In the hills. So I just knew there was gold in there. And so that's what I wanted to pull out, was the gold. And look at it right now. Look at God right now. Yeah. Look at God. So nation, what did you think about God cleansing him? That just makes me just want to, y'all, I'm crying. And that just makes me want to cry, because, God starts telling you, look at what David did. Come on, David, a man after God's own heart, he messed up. Look at that woman in that shower, David. But the thing about it is that you just felt his cleansing power through his love. And Misha, what was going on with you?
Like I said, at that time I was seeking God, and he started telling me not to focus on Marcus. It's not that I didn't care about him, but he was like, because the only thing y'all doing right now is finger pointing. You cheating because Marcus cheating. Marcus cheating because you cheating. So he was like, don't even focus on Marcus. Focus on me, and I'm going to start showing you the error of your ways.
Wow.
And so when I started seeking him and started falling in love with him, he started showing me all types of things in my past. And even he was saying that, when you were molested as a child, you looked at him as a father and not a husband. That was the thing that was wrong at first. You try to find security in him. He can't give you security. You try to find love in him, but he can't give you the type of love that I can give you. So he started showing me that that's where the issues started in our marriage. It had nothing to do with, just natural things. It was a deeper spiritual thing from when I was younger.
Wow. It's just amazing how you really looked at him for a father figure. And I believe it's because you didn't have that father. So you thought, okay, this is my husband. My husband's going to be my father. And that's what a lot of people really, when things like this happen in relationships, we have to now put the spotlight on us. So was the grass green among us on the other side?
Oh, no.
No. The grass got real brown after a while.
Yeah, you know how something look real nice for like 4 weeks?
Yeah.
The closer you get it, look like, it still look alright. Right there, it's like, oh, this ain't good.
Let me go back home to mama.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. It's amazing that you would say that you start looking at yourself. Did you blame yourself any? Did you say, oh, I wasn't pretty enough? What were you saying things like that? Because that's what we tend to do too.
I started saying things like that. I started saying like, is it my weight? Because, I was on my third son at that time. Like, is it my weight? Am I stupid? Like, I just started really downing myself, which I never really had an issue with that. But, just at that time, I just started, like, my mind just was all over the place. So I really did start downing myself a lot. Just, even back to the molestation, I was like, maybe it's my fault, and it's my fault he's the way he is, and, is it because I look at him as a father, and like, my mind just was all over the place. Like, nothing made sense at that time.
So it's amazing that God will begin to say, look at you, and look at where you are. Now God brings you into a love relationship with him. And that love, the thing about it is having your children at the time. Were your children, did any of the children ever experience any of it? Because a lot of times it affects them too.
Our older son experienced a lot. The younger two, they caught more of the calm side. But our younger son, he saw the hard arguments, the shoving, and he saw a lot. He took the blunt of everything. The younger two, they caught us coming out of the world.
Wow. It's something that this will be said because we think it's just between us. When it's not just between you, it affects a whole lot of people. We don't know who it's all affecting. But thank God for God's love that y'all children right now are children. Really, thank God for that. And I just want to go back to the fact, I guess what you really were experiencing is that God allowed y'all to see that all that other kind of stuff really wasn't what true love was all about. And now y'all are experiencing, now, I want to get to that now. So y'all are experiencing love right now between one another. How is it now?
It's awesome.
Look at the face, look at you, man. Mason, you did that, it's awesome. Good, you go, girl. So when you say it's awesome, what do you mean?
It's awesome. I have a praying woman. She prays for me. She covers me in prayer. She makes sure I eat. Y'all I like to eat.
Yes, she does. Keep her going.
She's just there, just mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. She covers all bases right now, and I just truly feel like right now I gave my best friend back.
And Mason, you feel the same way? What did God do for you now? How do you see him now?
I actually see him a lot different. Our marriage right now is awesome. We communicate because at one time, only thing we do was yell and argue. And it's like now, it's like being that I develop a prayer life, like God will tell me how he's feeling, and I just try to be that emotional side for him because he's kind of hard in some ways. And so I just try to balance him out. He's a great encourager. Sometimes I'm going through things or I feel just lonely. He encourages me. He prays for me.
Ooh.
He's a great provider.
Ooh, so you have to secure that.
He's an awesome father. And so that's one of the things that I love about having a father. And so we can see the way that we interact with our kids. I mean, it's just, it's a total 180. It's not a 360, it's a 180.
Wow. And it's something that you guys, see, y'all got to excuse me, because I'm about to I mean, to see, so there's hope for people out there to know that God can restore your marriage too. And God, it might look like it's just an impossible thing, but right now we are in the season of restoration. And the only way that things can get restored is by the power of God's love. So y'all really are experiencing, I feel like y'all are still in that place of his love still restoring y'all. I really see that. Do y'all agree, or are y'all just telling me yeah? I just want to know. You agree? God, you still are in that place right now. And I guess because you guys are closer to Jesus, that's what's really doing it.
Yeah. I give God all the glory for that. Because I know it's
Wow. So what would you say to gentlemen out there, Marcus, who are struggling with, being faithful, and they really feel like it's an impossible situation? There's no way in heaven, or you know what, that their marriage could be any better. What would you say to them?
First thing you have to do is do a self-check. You have to acknowledge why. What's taking you away from your marriage or your relationship? And then once you do that, you have to gain a relationship with Christ. Because he's the only one that can teach you and show you all the things that you need. And for you to go through something like that, to be in infidelity or adultery or something like that, that means there's a void. There's something that you're missing. And Christ is always going to show you exactly what needs to be filled, and he's going to show you how to fill it. So that, and also breaking all those old mindsets, all those old
Go away on the magazine.
But it really starts young for us as men, especially in our black community, because we're always taught that if you take care of home, you can roam.
I like that. Say it again. That sounds like a sermon talk. Take it home, you can roam.
But
nobody gonna preach that right there.
That's how a lot of us.
Mix that.
But that's how a lot of us are taught and grow up, and even if no one physically tells you that, you see it. As long as I take care of my house, I can go out and I can do what I want. And that's the mindset a lot of us have. You have to break that mindset, because it really holds you to that. Because sometimes we even idolize a person who is doing that, and we feel like we're not a man if we're not doing that.
Wow. So that whole thing, that mentality about I work, I take care of the house, the bills are paid, what more do you want? That's enough. That's kind of what a man think. Like, as long as I'm doing that, it's a good thing.
What are you complaining about?
Wow. That's really what they say, Marcus. Have mercy. So your whole thing is, right now, what would you say to young women that were in, that's in your situation, your situation you were in?
Yeah, I would say to the young women, just begin to love yourself. Because a lot of times women get in relationships and look at the man to be a father, look at the man to fill voids. Like, a man can't fill any voids. So begin to develop a relationship with Christ and let Christ love you. Because a man can't love you perfectly.
I was getting ready to say, can a man love you perfectly? I think people look for that.
Yeah, a lot of
a human being can't do that.
A human being cannot do it. So begin to develop your relationship with Christ. Begin to seek God in everything that you do. And then once you give it that man, you'll know how to love him.
Right. You know how to love somebody by loving Jesus.
That's right.
And that's because he's the one that ordained love and created love. The Lord did that. So the thing about it is, nobody can love you permanently, perfectly, and purely only through the help of our Lord. So we're getting ready for questions and answers. And audience, if you have questions right now for Marcus and Demasha, get it going on. We're about to go there right now. For Q&A time, we're going to go there. Are we going to take a break, y'all, or what? Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. time. I had a wonderful time with Marcus and Kamisha Robinson today. We have just seen a whole lot. I heard a whole lot too. It's good. And so we really heard how God really brought them together in a marriage and how the marriage was destroyed through infidelity and how God restored it back again. So now we have question and answers from our audience. So let's get ready to see what y'all gonna ask them.
This is for Marcus and Kamisha. With all the cheating and the infidelity, how do you trust each other again?
I would actually have to say that I couldn't start trusting Marcus again until I really started working on my relationship with Christ. And what I had to do, I actually had to get up every morning and say that I choose to forgive Marcus.
Wow.
So I really had to make a decision that I was going to forgive him, because the only way that I was going to love him again and really see him for who he is if I forgave him. So I had to make that decision.
Wow, that's powerful. Forgiveness is power. I love that girl.
I don't want to piggyback off my answer, but I honestly had to do the same thing. You know, it was a process.
Did you have to, I'm asking questions. Did you have to really ask God to forgive you? That just hit me. You had to be forgiven too. My issue was that asking for forgiveness, it was receiving forgiveness. Wow. For a long time, I just felt like I didn't deserve it. Like I had done so much. Like how can I be forgiven for, doing what I was doing for so long? So it was confirmed that I was forgiven, but it was hard for me to receive it. Amen.
My question is for Marcus and Kamisha. You know that when you go through things, sometimes it'll pop back up. Has it ever popped back up? And if it has, what have you done to deal with that?
Yes, it pops back up. It even tries to pop up now, especially like if we're going through a little rough patch in our marriage, like all marriages do, it tries to pop up. But I just keep saying I choose to forgive. That's not who we are anymore. Like I just have to keep voicing it until I truly believe it.
Yeah, because it comes a time where you can get to a place where you keep rehearsing everything, the wrong that was done, and you just got to a place where you're like, I'm not rehearsing that anymore. I'm rehearsing a new rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's gonna be forgiveness and love. Powerful.
And also, when it comes up, we're open enough now in our relationship where we can actually sit down and say, okay, things been a little ruffling, and the enemy been trying to come at me with this thought, have me go back to this, and that's one thing that marriages have to have, that openness and just being able to talk about things like that. Because if not, I'm the type of person, if I sit down and dwell on it long enough, I'm going to do it.
My question is for Kamisha. When you were cheating, were there any emotional ties with the partner?
To be honest, no, there wasn't, because it was almost like I was in a place of I'm having fun. I wanted him to feel like how I felt, so it was like it was no emotional. To be honest, I really didn't want to do it, but I was just doing it just to get back at him, and there was no emotional ties at all.
My question is for the guy in the back. Brother Marcus, how did you come to cheat on this beautiful black woman, sir?
Like I said earlier, I lost my mother at an early age, and love was just something that I really felt that I just needed. And like she said earlier about her looking at me like a father, I looked at her like a mother. So when I got cleared the first time of getting it all out my system, and then went back and she said the things that just kind of just tore me down, I just went back out searching for love. So it wasn't really anything that she did, it was just her reaction, from the fear. And I went out looking for her, but I felt that I needed that I wasn't getting at the time.
Okay, my question for you, Kamisha, what made you want to start and do adult things at a young age?
Wow.
To be honest, just experimenting with him, with Marcus.
Experimenting.
Just experimenting with him. A lot of the young ladies who I were around, that time was into doing those type of things. And so, I trusted Marcus. I was like, everybody else is doing it. You want to try it? And we tried it. And 9 months later, I had to see.
You can see. Yes, ma'am.
This question is for Brother Marcus. When did you come to your breaking point? Like, when enough was enough?
Just fearing losing my family. Family was a big thing for me. And I just realized that I wasn't taking family serious enough. And she got to this point where I could really tell that she wasn't putting up with it anymore. Y'all look at us like we don't need no more. We need no more. We know when you say, I'm done, I'm leaving. You go away for a day or two, but the next day, then, we're still talking. You're not done yet. So if you're not done, and I'm not done. And she just finally got to this place where it was like, okay, I'm moving on. And she was so calm, it was scary. And that's when I realized I'm really close to losing my family.
Wow.
My question is to you both. We know a lot of times now, persons and young people get married so early. What would be your wisdom and your advice to young marriage and getting married these day and age?
My advice would be get to know each other, build a relationship, build a friendship before you decide just to dive right into marriage, and also start dealing with the issues of yourself. Start finding out, what things that you're battling with, because when you get into a marriage, not only are you now dealing with your issues, but you're also dealing with your spouse's issues. So get to know that person, get to know who you are, and truly find out who you are, what you like to do, different things like that.
And that just ends our Q&A time, but I want to say this before we go. Ladies, men are natural hunters. Make him hunt for you, okay? Don't be so thirsty. Make him run after you, baby. And just make him just want to say, I want to marry this woman. Because, see, she's not giving me everything all at once. So when a man is like, because he's a natural hunter, make him hunt, girl. And then also, because you're a natural nurturer, make him just drool for the fact that when he marries you, he's going to get something awesome. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Power of Love. God's love is powerful. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
And this concludes our first episode of Power of His Love show. God is so anxious to help us feel His love. I would love to thank our host and our special guests for their testimony on today's show. Remember, Colossians 3:18-19 says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord, and husbands, love your wives, and do not be harsh with them." I hope everyone enjoyed today's show. Tune in for next week's episode on Power of His Love Show.